Good morning, everybody. On this day that we're not sure if it's going to be warm or cold, I guess we'll figure that out. Welcome to April. I am your music director, John Mooney, here. Today I am joined with Brian Bay. Will be doing our congregational music. We got him from the back to the front. We have Carolyn Keeble on drums. We have Elizabeth Kelly on piano. And also, we need to congratulate Elizabeth for her new job as program manager for the Next Level Leaders at Western Michigan University. As I told her, she made it through 3 rounds of interviews, meaning she beat some of those people out 3 times.
Go girl.
So,
Go girl.
I don't know about you, I'm pretty proud of her.
Hey.
And then, for special music, we have a new friend of mine, Mr. Ted Hogarth.
Nice.
I met Ted originally in the fall when we were playing Jersey Boys. Turns out he'd been doing that on the road professionally for 8 years. His day job is basically just playing saxophone for whoever wants him to do it. So
Nice.
we're so glad to have him here. If you are able, please stand and we will get going with our congregational tunes.
Of your magnificence to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
Well, good morning. I am Barbara Galati, your platform person today, and I would like to welcome everyone who is here with us this morning in person and everyone who is joining via our live stream and everyone who will view this service on YouTube channel later on in the week. If you haven't already done so, please invite your phone into the silence so we can be fully present to each other during our time together this morning. We offer our thanks and gratitude to everyone who has made this service possible today. The ushers, PowerPoint, hospitality, bookstore, and script sales, and of course, our musicians and our song and streaming tech team. We couldn't do this without you, and we greatly appreciate the expertise and energy you bring to each and every service. We want to extend a special welcome to anyone who is joining us today for the first time. We'd love to know a couple of things: how you found us, what brought you here today, and most importantly, what we can do to support you on your journey. If you're willing to share that with us, if you would like to stay in touch, and you will find a card, well, like this one, to get connected. You can find that card in the pew pocket in front of you. Please fill that in and give it to one of the ushers as you leave today. Okay. Today we have Reverend Brett Kuhn saying yes to life. April 3rd is Palm Sunday. Reverend Judy will be back, and her title is, I didn't sign up for this. April 20th is Easter Sunday, and our choir will be singing for you that day. Let's see. The Kalamazoo Public Library is reading citywide a book entitled Solito by Javier Zamora. And on April 13th, we will have a discussion about the book after the service. So if you make sure you check out this this flyer out in the foyer. It is about a Seder dinner. Rhonda Coles Daly was working hard at getting this put together. The Seder meal is a symbolic Jewish ritual meal celebrated during Passover, commemorating the Israelites' exodus from slavery in ancient Egypt, and involves a specific order of events and foods, including the Seder plate with symbolic items. It's a time for families and communities to gather to recount the story of the Exodus and to reflect on freedom and liberation. The Gathering at Unity is a cooperative effort between Rhonda Coles Daly and several members of the Temple B'nai Synagogue. Please sign up today at the Welcome Center. And we have a town hall meeting coming up on April 27th after the service. And so today is the first Sunday. Oh, let's see, before we get to that. World Labyrinth Day is on May 3rd, and Karen Colson's going to give us some information about that.
Morning, everyone. So, as you can see by the slide, there's a rolling wave of peace that's coming our way on May 3rd. That's World Labyrinth Day 2025, where we're invited to walk as one, at one. We're invited to be swept up in a wave of peace that's rolling across the globe. And we hope that you'll come out and celebrate it with us and walk our labyrinth right out here. But we wanted to get a head start. We wanted to start embracing peace right now and start calling it forth. So, we created a peace board. Sure, that'd be awesome. Thanks. And you'll find it upstairs after service, and it'll be here until May 3rd. And we invite you to invite peace by sharing a peace note, a peace thought, a peace vision. Speak your peace in this board. Let peace begin to light up every one of those 50 trillion cells that build your body. And wherever you are on May 3rd at 1 p.m., just stop. If you can't be here, if you can't be near a labyrinth. And if you're so inclined, do a little spiral dance. But take a conscious breath and let that rolling wave of peace fill your soul. But in the meantime, April showers bring May flowers. So let's rain a little peace and let's see what flowers. The days are getting longer and the light is getting stronger. So let's be a beacon of peace. Because in unity, we know that what you think about, you bring about. So let's walk it, let's talk it, let's express it, be it, choose it, become it. Peace.
Okay, now we'll do the birthdays. Oh, plants and pews. First, plants and pews. So we have a couple of days a month to come in and take care of the pews and make sure they're filled with whatever we need to fill. And so that's the pews. And then upstairs we have a couple of plants that need watering. So that's the plants and pews. That's the plants and pews. We need somebody to come in twice a month, the first and second Sundays, I believe. And if you can only do one, maybe two of you will sign up to do that. Okay, now, birthdays.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
And if you would please join me in affirming our mission and vision statements and our core values. As an all-inclusive community, we awaken to spirit, grow into our souls, and build a better world. We celebrate a world of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all. And our core values of love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness. And now please join me in declaring our land and labor acknowledgement. Our spiritual community acknowledges Black, Indigenous, and people of color whose lands and labor were forcibly taken. We pledge to promote understanding, equity, justice, and inclusivity. And our children's blessing. Let's acknowledge any children who may be here with us today and those throughout our community with this blessing. As you go your way, know that you are loved, special, and important to us.
The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the
Good morning, everyone. The word for today is assurance. I live with the assurance of my divinity. There may have been times I doubted my ability to create the life of my highest imaginings and resign myself to living a limited life. Today, this moment, I make a new choice. I see myself as fully divine and fully human. I am so much more than my past. Even if I made regrettable decisions or disempowering choices, I have the assurance that with each new day, I can begin again and build the life I want to live. As I pray, I feel the limitations of the world fall away. In the silence, I feel the presence of God and the fullness of my own divinity. This is my enduring truth of who I am. I affirm, I am strong, I am creative, I am wise. I leave the past behind and eagerly create my future, assured of my eventual success. And from John 1, chapter 4, verse 13, by this we know that we abide in him and he in us, because he has given us his Spirit. So if you would like to, close your eyes and just take in a nice deep breath. And on the out breath, just letting go. Letting go of any struggles, letting go of any stress, and just begin to melt into this beautiful moment that is here right now. I know the world feels and seems a bit crazy right now. It's okay. It's all right. Just letting go of all that stuff right now. Just for right now while we're together today. Just letting go of all of it. Giving it all over to God, if you will. And I assure you, God is more than happy to take away your stress, your burdens, your worries. Again, in what seems like a very unstable world. But is there something that is stable within you? Something that is this enduring peace, this endless joy, and this infinite wisdom and silence and stillness that is here. Sometimes it feels hard to see or recognize that peace is always, always possible. So if you can even just melt into this moment right now, again, letting everything else go and just allowing yourself to surrender fully into this moment, surrendering fully into your essence, into God itself. And just feeling what that feels like. That literally, right now, when we're being present, when we're not thinking about the past or worrying about the future, right now in this moment, I hope you feel the peace and the perfection of this moment right now. And now, a new moment right now. And right now. It's so easy to get caught in all the craziness of the world. And we all do it. It's okay. But I offer to you grace and compassion for yourself. To see that we're all putting our best foot forward. And because we are, not even really because we are. God offers us grace anyhow. God's love is unconditional, so grace is always there, regardless of the choices you are making. So as we just delve into the present moment, as we delve into this service, I invite you to stay in that place of rest, that sanctuary of peace that is here now and is always here, if we can just simply take a step back, take a nice deep breath, and come back to the present moment. And just remembering that this peace right here, right now, is always available. Namaste. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Is that a type of saxophone, did I hear? Okay. My son would wish he was here right now because he enjoys the saxophone and jazz. So, well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see all your shining faces this morning in the midst of perhaps what would seem to be a kind of crazy world out there. I found myself at a rally yesterday, and this isn't siding with anyone politically. Let me just be clear with that, because there is no sides. God is not choosing sides here, just to be clear. So I was really checking in because for me, my choices most of the time are about taking action within myself. Like, what is keeping me from being at peace regardless of what's going on in the world? What keeps me from being in my heart? What keeps me from being in joy regardless of what is going on in the world? My mind has a lot to say about all of it. But a friend of ours had invited us to a rally yesterday, and another friend and I were having some coffee and tea when he was telling me that she had invited us, and he said, the only way I will go is I'm not fighting against anyone, I'm just fighting for something. And it really, beyond that, it's not even fighting for something, it's just, there was plenty of different types of signs up there when we went. But his simply was a good old-fashioned peace sign, the hippies that we are. And mine said, it was a peace sign and a heart, and it was peace and love for all. So that's what mine was. And we said, we just want to go there, make sure that it's peaceful, and we want to just hold the space for that. And it was really quite beautiful how people were there supporting each other, and there was lots of honking going on, as in support as well. And I think ultimately, regardless of what your political affiliation is, at the core of it, everyone just wants to be happy, right? And happiness shows up in a lot of different ways for people. And it's okay. This is how it's supposed to be. Happiness shows up in different ways, and we're all getting plenty of different opportunities for lessons, and some people are like, oh, another opportunity, So, we've all said that. We've all done that. But, the title of the talk today is saying yes to life. I haven't always said yes to life. I'll be honest with you. I was very much a victim to life for many years. And my son said to me recently, he challenges me on a lot of things that I just don't think about. He's 25, and he just sees the world in a different way, in so many ways. And he said, there was somebody that was, I felt like playing a victim, to life in some ways. And I do counseling, of course, with people sometimes. And he said, Dad, it sounds like you really have judgment about people who are victims, But isn't there a time where sometimes, that maybe it's not such a bad thing? And I thought, yeah, I guess if, when I lost my mom, I probably felt that way, or my dad, or, different times in my life that it was just there. But my mom played that card at a very high level. And so it's like, how when your parents do something and you don't like it, you will go the very extreme. Like, I will never be that way, And of course, we always end up either being that way or being exactly the opposite, and there's not a healthy balance in between. So I am learning more and more, and I am learning more and more to say yes to life. Because really, when we consider what our choices are, there's really only two choices. Either you say yes to life or you say no to life. But let's just be honest. Life will present itself, and you can fight against it, but it's already presented itself. What are you going to run from? What are you going to hide from? So why not say yes to it? Because there's really no other good choices that are there. And so I find myself saying yes more and more to life, but I want to be clear, when you're saying yes to life, it doesn't mean that you don't have frustrations or anger or disappointment that come up. It does not mean that. It means that you are aware of those feelings, you are aware of those thoughts, and you welcome them in. You welcome them in. I was listening to a teacher that I really admire a lot. Her name is Ganga Ji, if any of you have heard of her before. Such a beautiful teacher. And she was talking about truth. And she said, you know, if we're really going to heal, we have to be brutally honest about how we feel. We have to be brutally honest. You don't have to get caught in the feelings because we're not our feelings, we're not our thoughts. Thoughts present themselves in our mind, and then if we believe them to be true, the feeling follows that, right? So if we're identifying with the thought as the truth and then we have a certain feeling on it, then we're going to hook into it and we're going to go through some challenges. So her comment was, you know, we have to be brutally honest about how we feel. And so what she also said is, let me see if I can say this the way that she so eloquently said it. A true teacher will not try to avoid how you feel or try to even help you escape from it, which a lot of us are doing. Like in some ways, we're trying to become enlightened because then we won't suffer anymore. Or this needs to happen so we won't suffer. And there's like kind of this escapism, like escaping from life in some way. But she was saying a true teaching is when you go directly into the pain. Directly into the pain. You're not running from it. You're not hiding from it. You're saying, look, this hurts. I feel it. But my choice is either to fight against it and say no, or to embrace it and say yes. To say yes to life really ultimately means that no matter what comes up, no matter the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences, there's a sense of even gratitude for it happening. Even the things that your mind and your feelings say, no, I'm not grateful for this. Can you notice that thought and that feeling and still have a certain gratitude for it, knowing that it's leading you in the right direction? You know, a lot of times I think we find that, in fact, I was speaking at Pontiac Unity Church. I used to speak there a lot, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. And I was talking about how things happen for a reason. You know, everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. And it wasn't a big congregation, so maybe it was a little easier for people to speak up. People don't speak up in bigger crowds as much, you know. But there was a young lady that spoke up, and she I'm going to paraphrase it, she basically said, "Are you kidding me? All the suffering going on, all these kids, you know, that don't have enough food on the table, the people that are homeless, people, you know, all these things going on." And she was really angry at me. And I just said, I understand how you feel, and I'm not asking you to believe anything I say. I'm just sharing my experience. And I say that quite regularly. I'm not asking you to believe anything that I share. I'm just offering this as a way of exploring and looking at something deeper. Well, she literally, you know, walked out of the church. And I felt bad. I felt bad, like, did I present something wrong? You know, did I not, you know, maybe encompass everybody in some way? But again, I don't believe in accidents. So I see that that's probably what she needed, and that's probably what I needed, and that's probably what the people in the congregation needed. For whatever reason, I don't try to figure out why it's needed, but I do know that there was a learning on my part, and I'm sure there was a possible learning on other people's parts as well if they took that opportunity to say yes to it. You know, so, you know, I think, though, in saying yes to things, you know, again, I don't want to make this message that, you know, that we deny what's going on in our thoughts and our feelings about it, because there is really a lot of people feeling frustrated, and they think, well, I'm supposed to accept this thing. I'm supposed to accept it, which means that I shouldn't be feeling angry or any of you've heard me talk about even hatred before. I would much rather have somebody be honest about their anger or even their hatred, because then you have a place to go with it if you're honest with it. I once said at a meditation, I was so angry with someone that, and I wasn't angry in the moment when I was teaching meditation, this was something in the past, and I was sharing with a meditation class just a few weeks ago. I said, we were talking about brutal honesty, and I said, there was a person in my life, and I just wish somebody would kill them. And one of the women, like, and she gasped. And I go, can I ask why you gasped? And she said, I would never think that. I would never feel that way. And I go, the reason you gasped is because you believed the thought that I had. You believed the thought that I have. That was why, because she was so identified with our thoughts are the truth, that it sidetracked her to say, gasping is like, you should never think that way. I'm not trying to think that way. I don't know about you. I don't know if you have experiences where you say, I shouldn't be thinking that way. Are you trying to think negatively? Are you trying to hurt somebody in your mind? Are you trying all these negative thoughts that say, I'm not enough, they're not enough, the world needs to look this way? Are you trying to think that way? No. You are not trying to think that way. That's where the trap is. You believe so strongly that you are your mind and your thoughts that it has pulled you into this suffering. There is probably not a greater thing that I have to share with you than that. To come back to a recognition, to ask myself, to ask yourself, am I these horrible thoughts coming in? Am I any thought coming in? This is the key to waking up to who you are. You've heard me say this before. I'll give you the definition of Eckhart Tolle, who says what awakening is when the mind, which is your thoughts, I'm referring to it as the thoughts and the feelings, when your mind and the awareness separate. When you can have the awareness of the mind and all the thoughts and recognize that it is not you. Then you say, well, why do all these thoughts come up then? These thoughts come up because God, in God's infinite wisdom, is helping you to see where you are carrying thoughts that no longer serve you. That's why it's all perfect. That's why there's no single hair out of place in the universe, as my teacher would say, because you are actually being fed the exact thought. You are actually being fed the exact experience you need so that you can say, I don't want to think that way. That's not me. There's something in disconnect, something in discord that is not who you are. So God, which we feel sometimes picked on, just like that young lady did at the church, is like, this is not a loving God that would cause suffering in the world, but it is a loving God. It's a loving God that is challenging each of us, not out of spite or anger, nothing but love, is challenging us to say, you are carrying something that is not the truth. You are carrying something that is not the truth. And this thing that you're carrying, that you're identifying with, is getting in the way to see how beautiful you are right now in this moment. We focus so hard on trying, even in here, it talks about creating a good life. But I'm here to share my experiences. There's nothing to create. Life is already good, but somehow we're saying no to it and we're fighting against it. That's all. That is the only reason we are not experiencing peace right now in this moment. So my offering to you is to just give it all over to God. Don't hold on to anything. Now, I had this awareness not too long ago. It's happened to me at different points in time where I've stepped into this place where I was just in peace. I was home. I was beyond my body, beyond my mind. It was just peace. And in that peace, I was able to see that it gave me a benchmark. It gave me a benchmark for my life. And in fact, I was talking to a friend, and we were having a conversation, and I was saying things very confidently because I've seen, as Martin Luther King would say, I saw the promised land. This promised land that is available to each one of us. The kingdom of God is at hand, as the Bible has said. It's right here, right now. It's not something we should be waiting for to happen. But my awareness was that I could take all the so-called issues of mine, my personal issues that I have gathered over time that I would describe as Brett when Brett's not rooted in the truth of who he is. So, but this person called Brett has a whole bunch of issues, I assure you. You know, I've got plenty of issues. Sometimes when I'm not rooted in my heart and I'm rooted in my head, I'm arrogant. That's usually the word that comes up because that's what my wife helps me remember sometimes. And I'm grateful for that. She has helped me to change my life because when she first started saying it, I go, really? I didn't know I was arrogant. I didn't even know what arrogance was. And then I'm like starting to see, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really like trying to prove my worth. I'm really doing a lot of bragging here, I see, you know. And I still do it. But as Eckhart Tolle says, as soon as you become aware of the arrogance, you're no longer arrogant. Because there's an awareness that you are not that. You are not this personal self-image. You are something that is witnessing that. So the more, and so when you take this and you look at, you know, we're all like in this wait mode. Like, when this happens, then I'll be happy. Or, you know, whatever it is, when I get more money, when the political world is solved, when we get the right president, then I'll be happy. We've got to make all these changes. Look, I'm not opposed to changes. But again, I say this all the time, but when changes are coming from a place of fear and blame and judgment, and you're trying to change things because you need it to fit in your model of how life is supposed to look, you're going to create problems within yourself and in the world. There's God calling in right now. So my point to you is, I don't care how many issues you have. I don't care how many issues you have. When you just come back to, like in a meditation, and you just become a witness to all of those issues and recognize you, the true you, is not those issues. You are the witness to those issues. And so you can have all the problems in the world, and all you need to do is take a conscious breath, come back to the present moment, and all those issues suddenly are all gone. They're all gone because you're in the present. The only way an issue can survive is if you're carrying forth the past or you're worrying about the future. In the present moment, there are no issues. When you are witnessing this essence, when you are witnessing the personal self-image, it doesn't matter how many so-called problems and issues you have. I'm telling you honestly, peace is literally available right now in this moment. And again, the invitation is, where you feel you're lacking, where you feel that you have all these issues, I'm inviting you just simply giving it over to God and trusting and having faith that God is there for you, and by God's grace, God will continue to lead you deeper and deeper into your heart until you see life has always been good. But we were saying no to it all along in different ways. And it just takes one no to upset the apple cart. You might be good in a lot of areas, but that one no could drag you through the mud. My mentor for many years would say to me, You got 90% of everything you want in the world you have. Why do you keep focusing on the 10%? Right? Anybody have that experience? And it's true. But look, it's okay. We're human, and these things are going to happen. We're not a bad person for having these crazy thoughts. We're not a bad person for having issues. We're not a bad person for doing, things that we've done in the past. Everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. And the more you have trust and faith in that, the more life will simply get easier. I got to be honest with you. I love speaking. I love teaching meditation because I need to hear this as much as you do. And right now, I just feel grateful because it is a reminder for me when I'm speaking in this way, Brett, just come back to the moment. Just come back to the moment. Come back to who you are. Your heart is there. Don't worry about all these so-called problems that you have. Just simply come back to your heart, and everything can fall into a place of peace. We all have that. And one of the greatest things to me Jesus ever said was, you can do all things I have done and even greater things. And if you look at any master teacher and there's plenty of them in the world right now, there are a lot of teachers that have woke up to the truth of who they are. And they will all tell you, I've got nothing over you. You have all these abilities. There's been many documentations of people that have been raised from the dead over the years. Even the Apostle Paul in the Bible raised somebody else from the dead. This is nothing new. We have all the capabilities possible, but our mind, because we believe our mind that that's not possible, we buy into our limited self. And that's what it was saying on assurance today in the word of the day. If you feel you're fighting against something and you feel you can't relinquish that or give it over to God, it's okay. My next invitation would be just be present with that then. If there's something you're fighting against, can you just sit with it? Can you be present with it? And the more you're present with it, as Eckhart Tolle says, at any time you bring awareness to anything, there's healing that's taking place. So if you can notice I just can't let this go. I can't let it go. Okay, then be with this thing, this belief that I can't let this go. Just be present with it. Just sit with it. Meditate on it. Don't fight it. And you'll find that the more you embrace it, the more you can say yes to that, then there's still peace that's here. I'm going to leave you with something I probably have said before, but I feel it's really super helpful. Look, I wake up sometimes. I don't really have many bad days, to be honest, but although lately I've been tested a little bit, and I'll acknowledge that. And so sometimes I just wake up and I'm just feeling a little out of sorts or maybe a little grumpy. And so I start looking through my tool book there. Let's see, okay, I can do this meditation, or I can do this, and I'll start looking through all of it, and I'll start practicing, and I'm like, yeah, it's not going away. It's not going away. It's still there. And then as I sink into it, and I just say, all right, God, I guess I'm going to have this experience today of grumpiness. I guess I'm going to have this experience today of judgment. I guess I'm going to have this experience in whatever it is. And so if this is the experience you want me to have, then I'm saying yes to it. I'm saying yes to everything that I have been fighting against lately, because I know in my heart it's leading me somewhere. In fact, it's leading us all somewhere. And I'll say this again, for those of you who are Eckhart Tolle fans, this man really shares from such a deep level, and so for me, I trust this. I'm just sharing it with you. You don't have to believe me or not. It's okay. But he said, the mass awakening of humanity is now a certainty. It's a certainty. It will happen. How much suffering is going to take to get us there, I can't say. So let us be there for each other. Let us see where we're judging and blaming the world. Like, I cut myself off, if I'm being honest with you, I cut myself off from a third of the country because of politics. I don't want to do that, including my brother. That's not what I want. So when I say I've cut myself off, I was having this awareness. No, I'm not the one cutting myself off. It's me believing my mind that they need to look and play and do certain things to fit my mold. No, that is not me saying that. Who I am is simply witnessing that belief. And I fully give that over to God, because I am not interested in staying there. I am absolutely interested in sending love and blessings to everyone. We are all in this together. And if you don't think we are, I'm just going to offer to you that there's going to be some suffering there, because everyone is a reflection of who we are, everyone. And I probably have gone over time, so I see the ushers back there. So thank you so much for...
Good morning. I'm Judy Carnago, a member of your board. Thank you, Reverend Brent, for helping us learn to say yes. Please join me in our brand new board affirmation of the month. I celebrate abundance as my experience. And now everyone at home and everyone here in the sanctuary, please take your tithes and offerings as the ushers come forward and join me in the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
thank you for sharing your talent. And thank you, Reverend Brett. Okay, so we are also tithing to GLRC, Unity Worldwide Ministries, Ministry with Community, and of course, the Unity of Kalamazoo. So, sweet Spirit, thank you for these gifts given today and for those we receive throughout the week. Guide our decisions so that we use them wisely to strengthen and support our spiritual community, the Unity Movement, and to support the work of our community partners. We offer our prayers for comfort and peace of mind to everyone impacted by the recent severe weather and to anyone who is feeling uncertain or uneasy about the future. We pray for those everywhere who are facing challenges of any sort. We affirm that the multitude of needs, including health, housing, employment, relationships, food security, and personal safety, are met and fulfilled with loving kindness, compassion, and the resources needed to restore wholeness and peace of mind. Strengthen us to stand for what is right and good, and comfort us when we grow weary of the intolerance and inequity. Remind us to respond to fear-based thinking with love, compassion, and justice. Protect us and guide us as we affirm that divine order is always present because we are enough and there is enough. Amen. And as we bring our service to a close, I invite you to please stand and join me in affirming the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And if you're comfortable in doing so, you may hold hands with your neighbor as we sing the peace song, or just place your hand on your heart and connect within.